We'll close out the Gold Cup here at Hooton Park with the IndyCart Pro Karts. It's a fabulous battle ahead of us. Scott Norvesa from Dave Grundy on the front row with him. Stephen Cooley, Dave Keech and Paul Williams. It may not be many karts out there on the grid, but it's Pro Karts. So it's still vastly entertaining indeed. Green flag up at the back of the field. Away we go. Standing start. And this is all going to be about the start. Norvesa has got a great launch off the line. Grundy is going to be there in second place. And then they charge their way through. Dave Keech not getting the best of starts. Do you know, my first ever serious run on a kart was on a Pro Kart. I can take this all the way back to 2003, and it was absolutely great fun. 17 years of age, and I'd been given a Pro Kart for the day. I genuinely felt Christmas had come early.
Most people's experience of karting, of course, starts in the corporate sector, where they race Pro Karts on indoor circuits. These karts are certainly a lot heavier, twin engine, and take some handling as well, not least by the guy, that's Scott Norvesa, sixth in the championship. He leads it, but the man at the back of the field here on the 37 kart, Jake, who is the oldest man in world karting, do you think?
Oh, that is a tricky one. That is a very tricky one. I know that there are some competitors up on the European scene who are in their late 30s and still doing a very fair job.
Okay, so Dave Keech at the back of the field here is Dave.
Go on.
He is 68 years young.
Shut the barn door.
He is 68 years of age. Can you believe it? And these, I tell you what, I would struggle. I'm 61. All right, I've got some health issues, but I would struggle to drive these things. My arms would be falling off after 2 or 3 laps. These guys have got to do 12 laps. Dave Keech is 68 years of age. We've not seen much of him yet. We'll get a little look at him as the race progresses, as the karts are spreading out on track. But what a story.
That is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Now, what I want to say, guys, as well, we'll say it here. We think Dave Keech is the oldest man in competitive karting worldwide. If you know of somebody older than that, then get in touch with us at TDI Media, and we'll mention it in our next programme, the next show that we do. We will give a shout out to somebody that's older than Dave. But he must be racing in a competitive field, in a club race or a national championship somewhere to qualify. And this is a club championship. All right, it might be at the back of the field, Dave, but it's a competitive field.
It certainly is. Do you know what? Now that you've said that, we've got Emo Fittipaldi Jr. hoping to compete in the World Karting Championship in Brazil in December. I'm going to get his dad back behind the wheel, and then he'll take the victory, because Emerson Fittipaldi is into his 70s.
Yeah.
So I think if we can get him out there in a competitive race of some description, that will do. He'll break the record.
I'm not sure Emerson will want to get in a
No,
kart,
I'm not sure he will
either.
To be fair, he is absolutely in awe of his son's efforts. Here we are in the Pro Karts, and you're watching Paul Williams, who has come up from the back of the grid. So he's obviously done his homework here, up into third position ahead of Stephen Cooley. Cooley coming towards us. These karts are absolutely raw, rough and ready. They are wonderful to watch, and the twin engines really do give a proper punch as you come off the apexes. They're quite wooden on the steering as well. You've got to be very careful how you place the car. It takes a real nerve ending on the edge of your fingertips to get these karts around the bends. You've got to be so precise. Look just how little you are actually working the steering. You could see it from a distance as these drivers come through. Look, they're barely moving their steering at all. You've just got the slightest little nimble turn to get these karts around. So getting it a little bit too much, and these karts will snap away. You've got to be so smooth with these things.
Stephen Cooley trying to put the 69 Paul Williams under pressure here. This is the battle on the track. Not much going on for the race leader, Scott Norvesa, and Dave Grundy there in second. But this little battle here, Williams and Cooley, for third and fourth, is getting very interesting.
I tell you what I will say about the man in second place, Dave Grundy. He's got my favourite type of body panels on a Pro Kart. Those massive flared nacelles that are just massive. I mean, you've got these narrow, thin ones, which are quite commonplace on a kart. But watch Grundy's kart as it comes through. Look, all the space in the world for advertising. That's massive. You could put so much artwork on that thing.
There you go. There is Dave Keech, age 68, one of the oldest in UK karting. We think he might be the oldest driver in the world. The only reason we haven't put that on the graphic is because somebody may be watching this going, well, my granddad still races, he's 70.
Absolutely.
Side by side for Williams and Cooley.
This is going to be an interesting tussle between these two as they duke away for third position. Interesting that we're not quite... Oh, a little bit of a gesture. That was almost an after you there from Cooley. Either that or just a little bit of frustration started to creep in. Wonderful, these guys still pushing it. I love the IndyCart scene. I don't get to talk about it half as much as I want to. And these guys really putting on an excellent display. I think I need to get my old race suit and overalls out and get out there and have a bit of a play. I wonder if I'd be welcome at Hooton Park. It's only down the road from me.
I'm sure you would. And I mean, to be fair, there's only 5 karts on the grid. I think there's a 24-hour race going on in Teesside, isn't there, today, this weekend? So I've got a feeling a lot of the guys, I mean, we quite often will see, I don't know, a grid of sort of a dozen, 15 here at Hooton Park.
Oh, now you're putting me off the idea. There's too many to race against. I'll have 5 or 6.
Yeah, but Jake, if there's 15 in the race, it's easier for you not to finish last.
Oh, good point. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Good point. What are you saying? Are you suggesting I might?
I've seen you drive. Like an
not
old
many
granny.
not many people have. Fair enough. Keech is doing a fine job there in 5th position. The other thing, I couldn't race anyway because then you'd have to commentate on your own, Alan.
That's true. Well, we could put a microphone on you in the car. You've done that before when you did a car thing.
There's an idea.
You raced one of those silly cars, didn't you, around an oval circuit?
That's right, stocks karts.
That came out really well.
Yeah, we'll do that again maybe one day. If anyone's listening from Hooton Park, IndyCarts, I would love a go. An absolute, self-promotion.
We've got the winter coming up. There'll be time. I'm sure somebody will be able to loan you a kart for the weekend.
Okay, well, you know where to find me. #FatChances want a free race ride.com. There we go. Keech is there, 5th position, still pounding around, still keeping his lap times pretty consistent, which is fair enough. And let's be honest, that is essentially what you need to do in these situations. You just need to keep getting the pace up. You need to keep pushing hard and still putting in a good effort. These two are still threatening to dice for position with a bit of wheel banging. A big twitch there from Williams, who keeps his kart smooth as he can in front of Cooley, who's still giving him plenty of aggro and pressure as they come up to this final section of the course. They come down the straight once again. And Grundy is still just pounding around. This is all about lap times, I guess, for the leaders, as they just want to try and beat their best, essentially. But for these two, this is definitely turning into a battle of wits, isn't it? Williams versus Cooley. They do not want to get into crossfires up the inside, and Cooley's going to make it stick. That'll do. Beautiful move and absolutely textbook execution. That is into 3rd position. What can Williams do now to respond?
Can he clear off? That's the question. I suspect he may just have a little bit too much pace for the man on the 69 kart, Paul Williams. But we'll see as he come out of the final turn. Still got a few laps to go.
Not much to choose between these two in terms of raw 1-lap pace. They are pretty similar in terms of the lap times that they've been setting so far.
Talk about lap time. Scott Novesa sets his fastest lap time now of the race at 39.23. So as you say, Jake, in a race like this, it is about sort of racing against your own best lap time, really. And it is IndyCar. It's about having fun, and that's what the guys are doing. I mean, Dave Keech, you might think, well, why is Dave still doing it at 68? Because Dave's having fun.
Yeah,
we're into the last lap.
And they do say, don't they, that karting is Formula One for people with a zero budget by comparison. It is such an incredible discipline. Karting really does mean living on the edge. I was talking about the lap time differences between Cooley and Williams. 40.54 for Stephen Cooley, 40.53 for Paul Williams. There is literally nothing in it between those two. But here comes your race leader, who is going to become your race winner. Scott Novesa has been absolutely dominant in this one. Out of the final hairpin, he's still pushing it like crazy out of the final turn. Excellent job. Scott Novesa takes the victory in this race, and he is delighted with that. Absolutely flawless drive. Dave Grundy on the GX200 is going to come through in 2nd position. This is going to go right to the line between these two, trying to get a nice little sprint off the final corner. It won't work. Steve Cooley's going to get 3rd position, and he's happy with that one. Paul Williams pushes him all the way. That was great banter between two legends. Dave Keech is going to bring it home in 5th position. Here he comes. 68 years of age and not looking a day over 25. Absolutely brilliant. Out of the final hairpin, charging through. Excellent run as Dave Keech finishes up. High, wide and handsome. Excellent. Scott Novesa, your race winner, from Dave Grundy, Steve Cooley, Paul Williams and Dave Keech. If you are near Hooton Park on the Wirral and you want to go racing yourself, go and find them on Facebook, Hooton Park IndyCart. And you never know, you could be on the grid next time. That's all from us here at Hooton Park. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time for more karting from the national scene.